So you clicked because you think this is about tanks and missiles, right? But the first hit doesn't have to be a bomb. It can be your card getting declined at a gas station while the price jumps again. US officials are warning about Iran-backed retaliation, and they're not just talking about physical attacks. They're talking cyber too. Banks, oil supply, water systems, elections. And the scary part? You don't need a named target when the goal is just chaos. In this video, I'm counting down 5 US states that feel that chaos first, because they're the knobs and levers of US energy. Number 1, Texas. So, Texas isn't just a state. It's like the remote control for your gas price. One weird glitch down there and you're staring at the pump like it's charging you a monthly rent payment. But here's the catch. Everyone pictures some big fireball on the news. The scarier move is quiet and boring. Pipeline scheduling, refinery controls, port logistics, or the office network that does billing and shipping. The stuff no one brags about. The stuff that, if it hiccups, makes adults panic buy gas like it's toilet paper. Let's break it down. Texas has these huge refining hubs packed tight around Houston, Beaumont, and Port Arthur. So when output dips even a little, wholesalers start calling in favors. Then trucks get rerouted, station owners get allocated supply, and suddenly your "I filled up yesterday" turns into "Why is it 70 cents higher 2 days later?" And CISA has literally relaunched its Shields Up warning, because soft targets and critical infrastructure are sitting out in the open. Now add the digital mess. Industrial control systems were not built for modern threat actors. Former DHS counselor Jake Braun put it blunt. Our critical infrastructure is quite vulnerable. Outdated systems, not even patched anymore. Third-party vendors connect everything too. Picture this off I-10. Pumps work. Your card doesn't. Clerk shrugs. Line grows. People get loud. Number 2, Louisiana. And if you thought the last state was the whole story, you're not ready for what's next. Louisiana is the state you ignore until it breaks. Then suddenly your feed is full of grown adults arguing about gas like it's fantasy football, posting pics of station signs like they're doing war reporting. But here's what nobody tells you. Louisiana isn't just making fuel. It's where a ton of the fuel gets sorted, stored, and moved. And that means the real weapon here is timing. If the clock gets messed with, the price still jumps, even if the product is technically out there somewhere. Picture the map like a conveyor belt. You've got these long industrial strips, refining, petrochemicals, tanks, terminals, then big ports pushing product out like it's an Amazon warehouse for energy. Everything runs on tight windows. One delay and ships sit. Trucks get told to wait. Terminals throttle flow because they're jammed. And while everyone says supply is fine, your local station is getting half the normal drop. Now add the invisible stuff. Logistics software, terminal management systems, vendor networks that touch 10 companies at once. You don't need to blow anything up if you can make scheduling and measurement feel sketchy. Chaos is the product. CISA even brought back its Shields Up warning, because this is exactly the kind of soft, messy target that gets hit. Louisiana feels it first because it's a traffic jam state, and when lanes freeze, the ripple hits the South and Midwest fast. Next thing you know, officials say no specific threat, and you're still staring at bagged pumps. Number 3, California. California doesn't need a war to have expensive gas. It already does that as a hobby. So when global oil gets spicy, this is the first place that goes from, yeah, it's bad, to cool, so I'm refinancing my commute overnight. But here's the catch. It's not just price. California is a full-on system state. If card networks, banks, or those little payment links behind Apple Pay get weird, you don't just pay more. You might not be able to pay at all, like the pump is right there taunting you. Let's break it down. California runs these special boutique fuel blends because of strict air rules, and that stuff doesn't just swap with whatever's sitting in a tank in another state. So if a refinery goes down, you can't patch the hole fast. We've seen how ugly this gets. In 2015, A big fire at ExxonMobil's Torrance refinery helped shove prices up as much as 40 cents a gallon within a week. Let that sink in. Now layer cyber on top. Jake Braun, former DHS counselor, said Iran has gone after our banking system and the systems that underpin our oil supply before. Picture you trying to buy $6 gas, your card declines, the app spins, and the line behind you starts doing that impatient horn tap thing. Don't even get me started on the drivers. Once people see empty pumps or payment outages, TV reassurances don't matter. Trust drops, hoarding starts, and the spike feeds itself fast. Number 4, Alaska. You hear Alaska, and you picture moose, mountains, and that one friend who won't stop posting Northern Lights pics. So you assume it's safe, but that's why it's a weird front line. Remote doesn't mean protected. Remote can mean fragile. Where fuel is supposed to go, start where fuel is supposed to go, start glitching. Towns don't have 10 other options. There isn't a just drive to the next exit plan when the next exit is ocean. Here's the thing. There are fewer routes in, and the weather picks the schedule, not you. Miss a window and you're waiting. And Alaska already lives with higher baseline costs, so when global risk pops off, Hormuz drama, LNG nerves, insurance getting pricier, Alaska's normal price pain goes from annoying to, why does this cost more than my phone bill? Fast. Now add cyber, but not the flashy kind. Think remote utilities and small city systems where the IT guy is also the snowplow guy. Stuff runs on old gear, and the vibe is always, we'll patch it later, because later is when the internet isn't acting up. So a small disruption doesn't just mean higher prices. It can mean empty tanks and delayed restocks, because there's less backup built in. And when you're far from everything, you don't get to pretend the invisible war is somebody else's problem anymore. Number 5, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the state people forget, which is wild, because a huge chunk of America's oil and gas brain lives here. If you want panic without a single boom, you don't mess with a wellhead. You mess with the brain. But here's what nobody tells you. Energy isn't just drilling. It's measurement, trading, dispatch, compression, and a million boring handoffs between companies that all swear their spreadsheet is the truth. So if data gets scrambled or systems go dark, firms slow down on purpose because they can't trust what's real. Here's the thing. When operators can't validate volumes, they start doing the safest, most annoying move possible. They derate flows. That's a fancy way of saying we're turning it down until we can confirm numbers. Nominations don't match. Meter reads look off. Someone's like, is this a sensor fault or a hack? And suddenly everyone is on a conference call talking like robots while the physical fuel just sits there. Now tie that to the warning theme. Officials keep watching for cyber hits on banking and oil supply. In Oklahoma, those worlds overlap hard. Energy money moves fast, energy logistics run on software, and the operational networks touch a ton of vendors, contractors, and third-party tools.